Hey boys and girls, we're here at the EVS 35 European show for electric vehicles. Right now what I'm staring at or standing beside is the new Volvo. It's called the Recharge, the Volvo Recharge. So right now what we're looking at is stylish cars. I've already walked around this thing. Fit and finish is perfect, paint is great. The interior is really quite good. I'm gonna move over to the white vehicle. It's easier to video. And you can see here that this vehicle has got a small frunk. It's got this cute little thing like we're seeing more and more of, where you can put your washer fluid in without having to lift up extra parts and whatnot. Tragically, it doesn't come through the roof or out the side like we've seen with some of the other customers. The Volvo has a trap that it encases the little frunk area here. A little more fancy than most everybody else. Most everybody else is kind of just leaving it open, basically letting the hood do the sealing. So all in all, looks pretty good. If we move inside, again, you can see that they've used beauty lines everywhere to make sure that even if they did have a gap, it would still look pretty much perfect. Let's look in here. And when we look inside, you can see the stitching. Now I've had a chance to look at most of the French stitching, the double stitching that you see here. I am pretty impressed. This has a similar cockpit to what we saw in the Neo. So to the right hand side you're getting a screen, but it's a little bit smaller. The one thing I think I'm gonna not like too much is how many buttons and dials and stuff it's got. I'm more of a fan of a cleaner look, a simpler look, and just using the controls, basically utilizing the controls with your finger. Let's have a look at the back seat. Okay, so we look at the back seat, and again, nice appointments. But let's see what happens when we try and pull this down. So the first thing that happens is the headrest falls in. You pull it again, and now the seat will fold down, and it looks fairly flat. They've got a bunch of other junk in here, but you can see that this is going to have a good compartment. This seats 4, maybe 5, if you're wanting a little uncomfort. But in essence, it's a 5-seater. The thing I liked on the Neo was it was a 6-seater, and it looks a little more aggressive. It's not as this is kind of more of a Chinese look. The Neo was more of a Korean masculine look. Let's look at the back. The one thing I like about this is it's got a bustle. I like the concept of a bustle. So for me, the back end of this looks nicer than the Neo. I like this a lot. Let's try and see if we can make the what do you call it? Oh, it's just a push. So it doesn't have the fancy closures like some of the others do, but I'm a big fan of simple. So push, and it opens up. In essence, it looks like, yeah, you can get a roof rack in here. So in essence, it's a nice family kind of car for a small SUV. So I'm inside the XC40 Recharge from Volvo. The instrumentation is pretty good. The one thing that's cool about this is as soon as you sit down, it's ready to go. So the seat sensor tells you that, or sorry, when you sit down, it tells the car that you're in position and you're looking to move. The controls are kind of, again, this transition type of thing. So you press forward for reverse, and you can see we're in reverse right now. P for park, obviously, and then D for drive. So it gives you little signals that tells you which direction you're going to go, which is kind of cool. Again, for people who are not really familiar with EVs, or they're just getting familiar with EVs. So anyway, we're going to take a small ride, have a look around. I'm not going to be going too much onto the roads. They've got a lot of rules, and one of them is that I'm supposed to have an international driver's license, and I don't. So as soon as this forklift truck with a bunch of cement things gets out of the way, we're going to back up and get out. And you can see that it doesn't want me to hit that forklift truck either. So let's back up a little bit here. Okay, so this rolls immediately. So I'm not touching the accelerator. So it's kind of like a conventional car again. The the transition that a lot of the car companies are trying to make is that it's going to be a similar experience to your ICE vehicle. Now, we didn't ask about how much, you know, whether it's got sport or comfort or what have you. Mainly, we don't need to know that kind of stuff right now. We just wanted to try it out. So we come over here and we're going to go through the gate again, and we're going to pretty much do the same sort of a drive that we did with the Neo a few seconds ago. And this is not a one pedal kind of experience. Again, we're back to they're going to have a lot of people driving this, so they've got it in sort of a mode where it's similar, if you like, to what you'd have if you drove a nice vehicle. I'm just going to go through the roundabout, like all the way through, and then into the parking lot here. And again, you've got that that heavy feel, or that feeling that you're really and truly in charge with driving. And I like that. I call it the BMW feel, but whatever you want to call it is what it is. It's very tight, and like I say, it gives you a comfortable feeling that the car is going to perform the way you want it to or hope it will. So let's just spin around here. I noticed that some other folks are, yeah, there we go. So yeah, this handles quite well. Let's just move over here. I saw somebody coming through. But again, this feels really, really good. Now, one thing that I did like on the Neo was that that undercarriage view, and I'm wondering if this has got anything quite like that.
Put it in reverse. I
think the only thing is reverse. Yeah, that's the only place. And really, that's a really small view. I'd like to, if I had made a suggestion here, I would have made this bigger, and I would have probably not done this. I don't know if I like this, but I would have made the screen bigger because I spent a lot of my time on maps. And let's do this. Let's do D, and let's see if we can find navigation. It's got seat controls and whatnot. What else have we got here? Maps. So it's got Google Maps. So it's got 260 meters to our destination where we just came from. So let's have a look at the instrument panel, and you've got two little indicators here, power and charge. Power is like what I'm using as I'm driving. Charge is when I'm trying to regen or braking. If we look down below here, you can see that we've got about 79% of the battery is still left. And if we look over here, we're getting about 23 kilowatts per hour per 100 kilometers. So it's giving you some information. I'm not sure how many people are going to use it, but I know I wouldn't bother. I'd be only interested in how much charge do I have left. Maybe people in Europe are a little different. I mean, everything here is quite a bit more expensive. So knowing how you're driving to a European is a much more important deal than in the United States. So we can see that there's a couple of apps here. Nope, that's it. So so anyway, there's a few things here. It's got more space, so I'm assuming that there's going to be more stuff that can go on. Anyhow, let's just drive out of here and get back to reality. Okay, so we have taken the XC40 out, the XC Recharge Volvo, and I was under the impression as I looked at it and drove it around, I thought this would be the more expensive vehicle, but I was incorrect. This is selling for about 52 to 54,000 euros. And you can basically say euros to dollars. This vehicle has a range of about 540 kilometers. And its counterpart, the smaller vehicle, the C40, it seems to be more expensive at about 58,000 euros, and it has about 20 kilometers more than this one does. I know I just drove the Neo. That was right around 90,000 euros. So suddenly this looks very appealing. Okay, there may be some things I don't like, but one thing I do like is 40 grand in my back pocket. So I'm now much more impressed with the product because the price is a lot lower. Now, which one would I buy? Probably a Rivian, but that doesn't. That's just my driving style. But I'm telling you, I think that this car is going to do very well in the U.S. Simply because that price range and the range of the vehicle, that's all going to fall right into where people want to be. So anyway, thanks for watching Munro Live. We'll be coming to you with more from the EV show here in Europe coming up soon. Bye-bye.